All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the fourth part of the show, we are going to talk about the past two quarterback classes um, between 2021 and 2022. And I know I did go over the 2021 class, like at some point during the offseason I did. But it's just interesting how things have changed. Because yesterday, a trade did go down. You had Malik Willis get traded from the Titans to the Packers. And the Packers gave up a seventh round pick for Malik Willis. But yeah, Malik Willis was a third round pick in 2022. And, it did start for the Titans, but never really, put up insane numbers. Had to make some spot starts for Ryan Tannehill. But it just never really panned out. So the Packers bring him in, but some of the other quarterbacks as well from that draft class. Like, I know I brought the 2021 draft class. Justin Fields is on the Steelers now. Mac Jones is on the Jaguars as a backup. Trey Lance is with the Cowboys, originally with the 49ers. Zach Wilson, of course, is with the Broncos now. Kellen Mond with the Vikings, now with the Saints. Ian Book was with the Saints, had to make that start against the Dolphins, but now he's a free agent. But yeah, now you look at the 2022 draft class. Sam Howell, this offseason got traded to the Seahawks from the Commanders. Matt Corral was originally with the Panthers, but I think a team picked him up, I thought. This must be because the article I was looking at could be old, because I'm pretty sure I saw him on a stat line. Oh, so yeah, he was with the Vikings, because when JJ McCarthy got hurt, they brought him in. But yeah, they let him go already. He got Desmond Ridder. As well. I mean, he was part of that Rondell Moore trade. So there were, all these quarterbacks have moved, but the only ones that have stayed with their team is Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy. But the crazy thing is about the 2022 draft class is Brock Purdy was the last overall pick. Was Mr. Irrelevant. He was the final pick in the draft. And that's who's still with his team. Now, I mean, he ended up in the best situation out of really all of these quarterbacks. But it's really just, it is remarkable, how these draft classes have gone down. That's why you're kind of hoping with this draft class here that, it's we're on the come up again. But those draft classes were back to back. So it is interesting. Now, in terms of what is Malik Willis going to bring to the Packers? Look, I mean, he's being brought in as a backup. There's something they got to like about him. That maybe, they're not in love with the backup options that they have now. It's, we'll have to see. But, I wanted to look at his stats though. Um, so Malik Willis's overall stats. Um, so he's got 350 passing yards, no touchdown passes, and 3 career interceptions. Played a little bit last year. Played in the international game against the Ravens a little bit. Like I said, has had to fill in for Ryan Tannehill. Sports and fun comments. What's up? DD is so underrated. Do you mean CD? The only DD I know is DD Gregorius for the Yankees. So, if you mean CD, well, I don't really know if you could say CD's underrated because CD's one of the best receivers in the NFL. So I kind of need some clarification on that. Okay. He said CD. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think CD's underrated. I think he's, one of the best. So, but we did talk about him at the start of the show here. Right now we're talking about the 2021 draft class and the 2022 draft class and how there's just been so much fallout from that. So, yeah. It's interesting. Again, how different it is with guys, switching teams, and I mean, it happens. It happens, but it's just, it really, like, I think the most remarkable thing, like I said, is that Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant, and he ended up, he's still with his team. Like, he turned out the best. But again, you could say, well, look at the team that he ended up with. And like I said, he ended up in the best situation. So, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I think when it comes to the current draft class, it's probably, yeah, I mean, it could be a very good draft class if the guys translate what they did in the preseason to the real deal. That's really how I look at it. But like I said, we'll have to see how it goes. But that's just that's my thoughts on it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think though about the past 2 draft classes. Let me know in the comments. So we're gonna take our final break of the show now. When we come back, we'll talk more about quarterbacks. We'll talk about the Steelers and their situation. Mike Tomlin saying he's going to name, the starter by the end of the week. So we'll get into all that when we come back from our final break of the show. So with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.